Should I pay you? How's it pay?
So the point of the video today is to examine how would we naturally react in an ambush. And the best way to examine that is to see how people react to pranks, because it's a natural way of behaving.
We're catching people in a real environment being caught by surprise.
Exactly.
Peekaboo! Straight away we can see
I'm going to stop. We've got to pause it on that.
You can see here that when someone's scared, their body
they flinch.
tenses immediately, and maybe the flinch becomes a jump to try and avoid the danger or whatever else. You know, they call it making you jump.
Let's go for the next one.
Why would you do that?
Christian!
Some of these are just too fun. That's the thing there.
Christian! Oh my God!
You bitch!
She's clearly not keen on being scared. Maybe her daughter's scaring her a lot. There's also a third compilation we're watching here, so I can imagine this has happened a lot.
That's a good example, not just from a mental faculty, okay, and incapacity of being able to deal and respond to a situation quite quickly, but her hands
are literally full.
Are full. Yeah. Phone and clothing.
I like this one because...
Is that through the door one?
Yeah, you see his animal reaction. He's like
Let me look at that again. The only good thing about that is that he did actually orientate towards what surprised him. I mean, you can say that about everybody so far that we've watched in the videos.
Yeah, the physiological reaction, whilst it might be debilitating in that we jump and we don't have control over what we're doing, it is also a very well-evolved system that poises you to
focus.
To sort of get away from the threat. That's why you jump often. That's why people often turn away.
Apart from the first guy who actually physically jumped in the air, he didn't actually orientate towards anything.
He was very disoriented by the end of it.
Just jumped, fell on the floor. Primarily, we don't know how we're going to respond until we're in a surprise situation.
Yeah, and ultimately it's a lot of the body deciding over and above you deciding how to react. So we need to find ways to train that physical reaction and become sort of attuned with it, I guess.
But this is the thing. I've always thought of it as a paradox. To train for surprise attacks, you got to know that it's going to happen. So it's a paradox. Ultimately, you're not surprised when you're training for surprise attacks. This isn't by far a scientific study.
Not at all. But it's great examples of what happens when people are made jump or scared. They become fearful. And if you can't get yourself into these are non-serious incidents here, people are just having fun, and it's all good fun until it's not.
Can you imagine dealing with an ambush? These videos are a good anecdotal evidence, if you like, on how people respond to being surprised when you have a lack of situational awareness, a lack of being in the present moment. And this is the thing, self-defense requires you to be in the present, not in the past or not in the future. You actually have to live in that moment of time.
Yeah, even if you are, for example, at work, a familiar environment, but someone can enter that space and change the situation very quickly.
But you know why that happens? They automate their own behaviour. A lot of tasks rely on you not being in the present.
Yeah, you switch off because you do it so often, your brain doesn't apply the active attention to it that's maybe necessary for something like self-defense.
But the interesting thing is you can't control that. It's something that happens habitually.
Okay.
So what you have to be able to do is be more mindful in your practice that actually are you in the present moment.
So what can we do to practice bringing ourselves into the present moment?
Well, firstly, don't look at your mobile phones.
Ideally, don't be lost in the phone, I think is a...
But that's the thing about martial art training. Martial art training brings you into the present because you have to deal with the threat or whatever you're dealing with. Threat's too strong a word. Threat's definitely too strong a word, but you have to deal with the present moment. We have covered quite a few points actually.
Yeah.
Being present in the moment is probably one of the best ways to deal with an ambush, because the main problem is you can't train for surprise attacks.
Bang! No. No, you can't.
Yeah. Do you notice I didn't even flinch?
You didn't. You're
on
tuned
it.
in.
On it. But that's the point, isn't it? Because you can't train for something you know you're training for. The main thing that you want to take away from this is that you have to be present in the moment. Don't automate your tasks and be mindful of what's happening around you.
The ultimate takeaway is to avoid being got by the bushman, be the bushman.
Yeah. Or baseball batting, I think.
Always carry a bat.
Thanks for watching.